slaughtered the children of Lilith and Lucifer. Lamentations be upon the tongues of Ventru, Lasombra, and Malkavian, who fired the trees and poisoned the rivers. Coals be upon the tongues of Ravnos and Cappadocian, Salubri and Gangrel, who like beasts devoured the flesh of children. Maggots be upon the tongues of Asamite, most cursed of all, who carried away the secrets of the Tainu. Revelations of the Dark Mother. Welcome to Starlight and Smoke, a Vampire the Masquerade Sabbat Chronicle. We are Vorpal Tales, the home of awesome adventures and terrifying tales. We have a full schedule this week, including Delta Green on Mondays and Ghost Hunters on Saturdays. We've just wrapped up No Time for Reality, our Contagion Chronicle, but you can now catch us playing Black Void in the same Friday time slot. Then debuting in September is Vorpal Tales After Dark, launching with Cult. You can also look forward to Achtung Cthulhu and Mutineer Zero. As always, check out our Twitter and Instagram or website for the latest calendars and updates. For tonight, Young K-Knights, please introduce yourself and your character.
Hey there, I'm Eric at Maron Recluse on Twitter, and tonight I will be playing Dimitri, the Pander vegan vampire who's on the run.
Is it really vegan though if you're still having animal products?
Vegan.
Oh. I had a thought there. It involved lactose intolerance in humans. But anyway. Hey everybody, I am Ambrose. My pronouns are he, they, and you can find me all over the internet as Changeling Ever until I change it. We'll see. You can also find me on Etsy at Neat & Co Designs, and this evening I shall be playing Billy for you, the child of cacophony whose pronouns are they, them.
Hello, my name is Jared. Wow, I can't speak today. My name is Jared, and today I'll be playing Drew. Wow, I'm blanking out. Anyways, you can find me at The Real Life Jared on Twitter and all that good stuff, and I will, like I said, I'll be playing Drew. I'll just shut up right there because I'm already digging myself a hole.
It's a beautiful hole. Don't worry. I'm sure you can fit some wonderful people in that hole with you.
I could.
Hi, I'm Savannah. You can find me online at Miss Emo Fox. Tonight I will be playing Svetlana, also known beautifully backstage as Svetlama. If I could make t-shirts out of what has occurred from that, I would in a heartbeat. Steve.
Hello, everybody. I am Steve. You can find me on the internet at Voodoo Arcade, and my pronouns are he, him, and tonight I will be playing Nora, the Lasombra, priestess of Cain, who is about to find out that these people got into a lot of trouble without her last weekend, and have to get a little stern, I guess.
It wasn't that bad. Could have been worse.
I am Tyler, Elder Checkos Online, and I am playing Hassam Warmonger.
Thank you. Ambrose, would you mind reading the recap, please?
Oh, certainly.
You better say my name right.
Hint.
But if I do, then Nora will know.
Just make Steve take his headphones off.
Nah, not gonna do that. Magnify. Okay, here we go. Dimitri steps out to get some cow's blood and comes back with 2 large 5-gallon buckets worth. It's an awkward Uber ride back to the area around the haven. To keep the blood from going bad, he keeps the buckets in a large meat fridge. Drew gives Dimitri a blood bag from a hospital and informs him that every day a contact of his will be dropping off packets from the local blood bank, and that he doesn't have to resort to drinking from animals anymore. We may be monsters, but we're monsters who help each other out, Drew informs him. Dimitri takes a pull from the bag, smiles through his teeth, and retreats into his room. It takes considerable effort to keep himself from drinking the rest of the bag. The moral implications weigh on his mind. Drew checks in on Richard, his hospital CEO captive. He's been on a liquid diet and bound with tape. Drew rips the tape off his mouth. Rise and shine. Richard threatens to call the police, watches Drew laugh, and asks the vampire what he wants. I want you to drink my blood. That's it, Drew explains. I may have you do other things, but for now, I just need you to drink. Revulsed at first, he takes in the vitae and eventually begins to like it. You're into drugs? This is the most potent drug there is, Drew tells him. Isfan is instructed to keep Dick hydrated, and then it's time to call Isaac Abrams. Apparently, he went to see his son Ash in Canada, and there was a fight. Monty, Drew's ghost, calls on him to say that he knows what he and his sire are trying to do, and that he should meet with someone he knows, as they both have common goals. Billy gets a text from their sire. Tell me about pain. Billy replies with, sometimes pain is not physical. Sometimes it's about making people do something they don't want to do. Astrid is pleased. You're learning well. Your next task is to start building your own garden. It should be a reflection of you. Billy begins work, but struggles to stay awake and conscious. They have a vision. Everyone in the Sabbat is kneeling in front of them. Another vision is of LA in ruins. The green fire asks them to choose which vision they want. One is a reality if they are released, and the other one is where their enemy is released instead. The voice introduces itself as Inshakushana. I hope I said that right. It tells them that they were around since the beginning, but had turned against their creator and were cast out. They need to be freed, and soon, before time runs out. Billy tries to find some common ground and asks if the demon likes Lilith. It laughs derisively, and when it does, Billy turns their offer down. Fine, it says. Your funeral. With Nora being tutored by Layla at the cathedral and Justinian out with his sire on patrol, Billy goes back to Hossam. He's busy in his room with petals and sigils inscribed all around him. He already knows what Billy encountered because of Svetlana's recollection. It's a demon, like a real one, cast out of heaven, etc. It wants revenge, and though they can give you cool powers, I am not interested in being someone's revenge tool. Billy asks if there could be two demons. Hossam ponders this and why they would be interested in their pack. They probably lied to you, but started off with the truth. Either way, it's probably not good if two demons are fighting over LA. Svetlana and... God damn it. Svetlana and Hossam continue hunting for the Tremir's chantry, checking the ley lines of the city and looking for instances of blood magic having been used. On the road, Svetlana messages Hossam and suggests that he focus his efforts in Westwood as she drives around town. Drew summons everyone into the common room for a meeting. He talks about Monty's request for a meet with an ally. Dimitri cautions that meeting with strangers could be dangerous. After Svetlana gets back, they prepare for the meet, arming themselves accordingly. Meanwhile, Svetlana notices that a blue Corolla is following her. She sees the driver on their cell phone. A white truck shows up and follows along after 20 minutes. Svetlana leads them to a storage container site close to the haven. She crosses the underpass and they immediately cease their pursuit. Svetlana makes a U-turn and follows the white van to an empty Target lot. A large man and his compact female companion exit the vehicle. She proceeds to climb onto the roof of her car and demand what the pair wanted and why they followed her. The large man grabs a shotgun and slots around. We were going to let you go when you wandered into Sabbat territory, but then you came back. Meanwhile, the pack shows up at a marina. They see a speedboat that Monty cryptically informs Drew will take them to where they need to go. They're going to meet Hector, a deep cover agent within the Giovanni. The pack boards the speedboat and travel a few nautical miles from the shoreline. A luxury yacht awaits them. Monty leads Drew into a room full of indigenous ghosts. A nicely dressed Hispanic man with skull earrings greets them. He introduces himself as Hector Pisana. The pack hears how Hector's ancestors were Aztecs and were absorbed by Giovanni. They have been biding their time to get revenge by eradicating them completely. He wants the support of the Sabbat and is willing to trade favors for ghosts and so on. Hector, you see, is a necromancer. Hossam bluntly suggests he teach Drew some necromancy and offers a dram of Set's blood. In return, he would like help raiding the Tremere Chantry in town. Hector acknowledges that this offering would be good collateral for the assistance, and Drew says he will think about it. Drew is told to seek out the Giovanni mansion and realizes the lack of instructions past that is the lack brain is not connecting that sentence. Sorry, Eric. And realizes the lack of instructions past that is part of some test. Bisonov wants to see that what he does to the mansion and how he does it before they continue to cultivate their relationship. After the meet and greet, Hector invites the pack to partake of sustenance below decks. After some tug of war, Dmitri stays behind and speaks with Bisonov. He asks how Hector and his people can commit revenge against the Giovanni. He cites justice. Dmitri counters that revenge is childish, which makes Hector mad. Dmitri apologizes but asks why, essentially, they are committed to wronging the sins of the past when they can live forever. Hector realizes that Dmitri is struggling with his new inhumanity and says that he is still operating from a human morality, which is no longer an option. Hossam has a deep conversation with his dinner before he eats them. Oh god, that's right. For a little bit of background, Steve, Hossam was actually very high. And for vampires, that's normally impossible beyond a couple of minutes. So they had a very deep and esoteric conversation. Billy emotionally tortures theirs, while Drew partakes. Dmitri shows up fashionably late to the party and makes it appear as if he joined the festivities. Meanwhile, the shotgun-wielding man describes himself as the sheriff, and the other as his deputy. The only reason you were allowed to leave our territory is because you didn't poach anyone, the sheriff informs Svetlana. Know your boundaries. We'll forget this happened if you make it worth our while. We take ghouls, blood, information. If you can't pay, we'll bring you before the prince, the other chimes in. These two are Camarilla. Svetlana rolls off the car roof and becomes invisible. They draw their weapons and start looking around. The sheriff fires wildly a few times and calls for backup from someone called Amanda. Svetlana quietly gets into her car and shifts it into neutral. The pair chase after their own car as it rolls away while Svetlana slips back to hers. They manage to shoot out the back window of her car as she drives away. She makes her way over to the Midnight Mechanic Chop Shop for repairs. Afterwards, she goes to the Gentlemen's Club and learns from her street vendor contact that the LA County Sheriff's Department has been cracking down on crime only in areas under the control of the Sabbat. Determined to learn more, she instructs her legal contacts to start digging up dirt on the sheriff. Back on the boat, Drew reads a note Hector gave him about a Giovanni mansion in Hollywood Hills. The accompanying photos show that security is state-of-the-art. He also receives dossiers for some of the Giovanni located there. No other faction lays claim to the Giovanni's territory there. Leaving the boat, Hassan messages Svetlana to pick him up and uses obfuscate to slip away from the pack. He directs her to the same part of town she was just at. She pulls over to the side of the road and says that she's not going back there again. They talk about what happened earlier. She explains that the Camarilla is on high alert. In response, Hossam calls his preschool and has him pick them up in a church bus. Out of character, is that consecrated ground?
No. Consecrated ground exists, but is very, very rare.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering. On the drive over, Hossam notices a ward on the Sturbridge Memorial Library on the UCLA campus. His senses pick up a strong trace of blood magic having been performed at this location. Please excuse our clutter, the Tremere Chantry is currently under construction. After the trip, they go back on the church bus, and Hossam texts back his anonymous messenger with the details. They ask for more information if possible, local layout, wards, nearby buildings, etc. Mission accomplished, the rest is extra credit. Svetlana calls in her favor with Drew and asks if his ghosts can tail the LA sheriff.
All right. Thank you so much for reading that. And thank you, Eric, as always, for taking notes. So, for Nora, we did a little bit of piloting your character in that Nora was summoned to the cathedral for some quality time with Layla.
Perfect.
And so, Layla has offered to teach your character if you want to get on the path of night.
And what exactly does this path lead towards?
Summoning the elder gods, apparently.
God damn it, Betty. That was Betty, wasn't it?
No.
No.
Oh, no, that was
Devin. Devin.
Damn
I
it.
know where you sleep.
Damn it, Devin.
Man.
I apologize for the false accusation, Spank my Betty.
I was going to
I
get back at
apologize
us
for the false
tenfold.
accusation.
Although, in my defense, Betty. All right. So, the way that Layla explains it is that the nature of being a vampire puts a certain amount of stress on your soul because human morality no longer suits. And so, paths of enlightenment are meant as vampire morality, and there's a multiplicity of them. But the path of night is the best one because it offers the most freedom.
And how do you define freedom?
Being able to do what you want. So, the ethics of this path. Leave no being untouched by your taint. Tempt and horrify those around you. The weak will fall while the strong will be tempered by your testing of them. Inspire others to accept their inner darkness. Experience every sensation imaginable and then some. Death is a means, not an end. Kindred, as souls damned by God, fulfill their purpose by preying upon mortals. And so this is meant as an alternative to the humanity system.
See.
However, if that's a little too rough for you, you can also learn Path of Cain from Raphael, the ethics of which are search for the history of Cain, learn from his actions, develop your willpower and predatory instinct. The beast, like the rest of the vampiric form, may be mastered. Take the vitae of the unworthy, so that you may become closer to Cain. Temper this accrual with an understanding of your own potential, so that you do not take the curse for granted. Adapt to the needs of your new condition. Cast aside your lost humanity. Study your abilities and the abilities of Cain to discover what belongs within you. Examine the limits and meaning of vampirism.
What was the name of the first one? I'm sorry.
Path of Night.
Path of Night. So, and she's the one that's gonna teach it to me.
Yes, because that is the one that she follows.
That was gonna say. So you chose Path of Night.
I did.
I spent years studying, reading, discovering systems and limitations, loopholes, and powers in my previous life. And that ended the way that it did. I have no interest in academics for the sake of academics. Night it is.
I'm sorry?
Night it is.
Excellent. The first thing you must do is grow even closer to your beast than you are right now. So, mechanically, you're going to have to get down to Humanity 3.
I was gonna say, I just kind of look around. I assume I don't just break the vase on the table.
It's up to you.
I will not. Humanity 3.
Mm-hmm. And I have a task that I think might help.
Interesting.
Fall approaches. And with it, our greatest celebration. It is an event we call Pala Grande.
Okay.
I need you to procure the refreshments for the evening.
Anyone or anything in particular?
We're going to need at least a dozen who won't be missed.
All right. Very well. I can procure that for you. I look forward to this being the first step in me finally getting what I want.
No, it's
Being-
not the first step, but it is a step.
Interesting.
Really, you took the first step when you let me into your hotel room.
I mull that over. Perhaps. Perhaps this is me finally taking my own step.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Or perhaps this is me finally taking my own step for the first time.
That's a good way to look at it.
And I will, if that's it for her, then I will leave.
Yeah. You can make your way back to the Haven.
Okay. So make my way back there. Come in. What's the status once I walk in from everything that was going on?
Yeah, so if I remember correctly, it's about an hour or two before dawn. Justinian is still out. He's still patrolling with his sire. Yeah, what is everyone else doing at the Haven?
Are we woken up yet?
It's about an hour before dawn.
Yeah, it's an hour before we go to bed.
Yeah. So what is everyone doing?
Billy will be sketching out garden plans with just laying on the floor, legs in the air, and just drawing. It's baby Baphomet.
Okay, what sort of garden is Billy designing?
So what I envisioned for Billy, poisonous plants, essentially, like nightshade, foxglove, and some plants that are not toxic necessarily, but like I think it's called
Thorn bushes?
Damiana. No thorns, just things that are either poisonous or considered kind of what's the word? Like, oh, that plant does that? Oh my goodness, kind of situation.
Like poison oak or
No, nothing that would be poisonous to the touch, but poisonous when ingested.
okay. You can plant a whole lot of oleander.
Go for it.
Every part of oleander will kill you. It grows really well in LA. All right, I know what the Setites are up to because I keep getting secret messages.
Setites are not at the Haven.
Don't worry about it.
I think
It's very
I would.
romantic.
I would have, depending on if he had time to follow the police chief, I probably would have called Titus back to get basically debriefed on the whole situation on that. If there's not enough time passed, I'd actually like to, I can't do that, I want to kind of play with necromancy and, like, I guess just experiment with it.
All right, so Drew is playing with dead things in the basement.
Pretty much, yes.
Perfect.
All right. Yeah. So it is not quite enough time for Titus to come back. He does let you know that the sheriff is living in a far, far nicer house than he has a right to. Like, he's living in like a movie star quality mansion.
Interesting. Okay, just keep an eye out. Keep watching them. Tell me when you get something good.
Yeah, and so that's when Nora shows up.
Hi, Nora. How are you?
Enlightened. How are you?
Could be better. You know,
How
not
so?
bad.
Not bad, but could be better.
Yeah. I kid you not, though. We didn't destroy anything this time while you were gone.
This time?
Drew.
Well,
Drew?
I'm just saying, we didn't destroy anything. You should be proud of us. We did well. I think so, anyways.
Then I'll leave it at that. Good job, Drew, for not destroying anything.
Are you gonna loop Nora in on the conversation you had on the boat?
Yeah. So Nora, just kind of give you a debrief of what you missed when you were gone. Monty, one of my ghosts, came to me and said, basically said someone wanted to talk to me about the Giovanni. I don't know, it's not a secret to everyone that I absolutely hate the Giovanni and I want to exorcise them from the city. Well, looks like we had a person that agrees with us, basically an insider. So we went to go, all of us went to go meet up with him.
When you say an insider, you mean someone from this group?
Pretty much.
A Giovanni?
Yeah, but
sorry, out of character. I'm assuming I've seen this name a few times in the reading of stuff.
Yes, the Giovanni are neither Camarilla nor Sabat nor Anarch. They are independent, and they are known for being into organized crime and necromancy. They're basically zombie mafia.
Okay.
They have a very complicated internal organization. Nobody who's not a Giovanni doesn't know about it. The Giovanni have ghost spies. That's how they get a lot of their stuff accomplished. Pretty much nobody likes them.
Okay.
But they have cool shit, so you have to deal with them.
Okay. So I'm gonna boil that down and not be fully like Nora probably doesn't know all of that as being we're still baby vampires. So
no, that is what you would have been taught.
Oh, we know all of that specifically. Oh, okay. Perfect. Great. Okay. So why do we trust this person, Drew?
Well, right now it's the only lead I got. So, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't exactly trust him, but he's very, very good with necromancy and probably could teach me a thing or two.
Okay.
So.
Okay. So the only lead we have and a possible benefit. That's fair. Good lead. Good job, Drew.
Thank you.
That's actually good work.
I try.
Very hard. So what does he want in return?
To extinguish the Giovanni.
And that's it.
It's probably something else, but we haven't boiled down to that. Or was that told last time?
He wants you to burn down their haven, or otherwise destroy it.
Okay. Basically, he wants me to burn down their haven. So, I guess in a way, kill
I see.
Kill Giovanni.
So you perform a hit, and he gives you some information in return.
Pretty much on how to use this necromancy.
I see. Okay. Well, it's getting early. We can discuss this more tomorrow. But for now, it's good. You're making connections. Very good work.
Thank you.
Um, when he says we didn't break anything, though, I am kind of like, can I just like look around and just see, just like check the haven? Is there anything, just like, is anything absolutely crazy like hidden away from me somewhere? It's like, yeah.
I mean,
Just my
Just-
broken bed. Don't worry about it.
Justinian's not back yet.
But she starts looking around. Dimitri is like, "Oh, could I have a moment of your time, please, Nora? In private, if you don't mind."
Of course, Dimitri. And I will go to a separate area with Dimitri away from everybody else.
Good to have you back. During the time that you were out, I see that we have taken some initiative to make new allies. I mean, hooray for Drew, right? He might be getting something good. But I thought I had an idea. Maybe you can help me out. So, you told me specifically at the beginning that everyone's problems are their own, but everybody's problems also affect everyone else's. And so far, my problems have become your problems, and for that I apologize. But these Hollywood forever assholes, like, they try to kill us, and then they try to do this kumite thing with me. I had an idea that perhaps we can avoid any further trouble with them, and maybe we don't have to dirty our hands to do it.
That sounds like a win-win in all scenarios.
Exact.
A rival gone and no dirt on our hands. So what do you have in mind, Dimitri? I'd love to help with that.
Well, they are also Sabbat. Huh?
Yes.
Okay, so they have natural enemy with the caramel, the you know what I mean.
I do. The caramels, yes. Okay.
Perhaps if we make it seem like they are trying to meet with them, we can insinuate that they are trying to work together towards something. That would be bad, right? That the Sabbat would see that and say, "Oh, that is a blasphemy." Is that not correct?
That is correct.
So perhaps if we put it together, maybe a little Photoshop, maybe Sam could like do his super spy James Bond thing and take some pictures. We can get them all to meet up in the same place. That could be bad for them, and then the Sabbat would be forced to deal with them, or they would force us to deal with it. Either way, we win either way, I would think.
This is good. The only issue, of course, would be having something that would lead back to an actual meeting with them.
Right. But of course, they would need to have proof of this. We just simply need to... right now, they're focused on trying to get me. So perhaps we make it seem, or we put the word out there, that I'm willing to meet with their champion ahead of this Street Fighter tournament thing. And we will settle it in such a place. And if they don't show up, then they suck. At the same time, perhaps we have a way to get word to the Camarilla, and they can perhaps show up at the same place at the same time. Would this does this sound like a good idea?
Out of character, we found out about somewhere there was a club, right, where Camarilla somebody was hanging out, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Justinian Diabloized her.
What?
Yeah, you don't remember that?
Yeah, he
Uh,
found a random Tremere neonate and just chomped her.
Yep.
You did find out about a hospital in Santa Monica where
It
the
was-
Prince's Ghoul sells blood.
It
Owned by
was
a
the
prince.
hospital. Thank you. That's what I was trying to remember. This Dimitri ties in with something that I was working on with you, actually.
Oh,
Yes, I'm concerned about you. And
that is very nice of you.
yes and no. My concern, of course, about you is to preserve myself, because if you're not at peak performance, then we have a weak spot, and I don't want that. I can
No
tell,
weak spots. So,
I can tell that you've made a choice, and you're going to follow your own path. And is the Sabbat not about freedom and not having to follow everyone else's rules?
yes, the
So-
Sabbat is only about following the rules from the top.
No, Dimitri. There's certain rules, but those rules promote freedom. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm saying that I want you to be
Yes.
able to walk the path that you want to walk, but I want to help you with that. I was looking into trying to find you a supply of food that would not morally upset you.
Oh, it's okay, boss. I already took care of that. But thank you for thinking of me.
You're welcome. We'll talk about what it is that you figured out. So regardless, what I found was a hospital, a blood bank.
Ah, yes, the blood bags. Okay.
I was trying to procure you already removed blood from people so that you could feed without hurting anyone. However, this ties in with your plan specifically because I know where a Camarilla's ghoul stays, at one of those banks. We want to draw out someone from the Camarilla, we snatch the ghoul.
I think that is a good plan.
Perfect. So we set up 2 meets. One to give the ghoul back to the Camarilla, one for you to meet your gladiator opponent.
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay.
Also, good work, Dimitri.
Well,
Does Dimitri
thank you,
look?
boss.
Does Dimitri look better, like fed and like? Because remember we could see that he was like kind of sluggish from not having eaten.
How many blood points are in your system right now?
I'll tell you right now. I have 3 points that are.
Oops.
Sorry. 45 animals. I thought I wrote it down here. 1 second. I believe I have 3 to 4 that are animal blood, and the rest are human blood.
Okay, what's the total?
Let's see. Total right now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7, and about 3 of those
Alright.
are animal blood. Yeah.
So you look okay. You don't look as pale and as drawn as you did.
You look better, Dimitri, which is good.
Thank you, boss. It was good chat.
It was.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes.
He leaves.
All right. The sun comes up. Everybody spends the day somewhere in places. Sun will eventually go down. Everybody mark a blood point off your sheet. So, Dimitri, do you go back to your bucket?
I guess if he's like really hungry, like he has to feed, then yeah, he'll go and he'll take a pint or whatever. Big gulp.
I mean, you wake up feeling peckish.
I'll take a sip, but nothing really big. He's all about keeping appearances, so I'll take a small sip
right.
or whatever and then leave it.
Go ahead and give me a wits plus perception check, please.
You mean wits and alertness?
Yes, that is exactly what I meant.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Sorry. Four successes and a 1, so 3.
I'm sorry?
4 successes and a 1, so 3.
Okay. So you open your bucket just to get just enough to top off, and you bring it close to your face. And give me a self-control check right now.
I got a 10 and an 8, so that's 3.
Okay. So you bring it up and you smell. This smells a lot better than it did yesterday.
Oh no.
Almost like someone put human blood
That's
in
weird.
it.
Yeah, that's weird. Put it down. God damn it.
Wasn't me this time.
I didn't do it.
Okay. On to you.
Was it me?
Cool. All right. Deal with that later.
All right. So the rest of you who are at the Haven probably see Dimitri go into the fridge, open the bucket, put his face in, look real disappointed, close the bucket.
Someone messed with my food, I'd be like, "What the fuck? Why'd you?"
Yeah, and you can all smell the blood coming out of it, or the smell of blood coming out of the bucket.
You're not hungry?
I thought I was, and then I don't know. Didn't feel too hungry. Maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow morning for sure.
Okay.
All right. So, somewhere else, Svetlana and Sam,
Mm-hmm.
you wake up to chaos.
That's not good.
That's the plan.
So, coming out of the pit, what you see is, because this all happened at sunset, so around 7 o'clock at night, when campus was still full of people. So you wake up to see 3 random street punks in a fight next to the chantry. There are a lot of mortals running and screaming because someone else was tempted tonight, or rather during the day, and they accepted.
Which they did.
And so what's going on is one of these street punks is literally throwing green fireballs at the chantry.
This plan is working out so much better than it possibly could have. Oh, that's glorious. And this is what Sam is saying to Svetlana also. I'm recording it too, and it's a live feedback to my handler.
I think it's a bit
Okay.
much, but
You get a message from your handler. Put it into that right now.
Stand by.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Stand by was the message back.
All right, so what would you like to do? How would you like to respond?
Wait to see what the Tremere do first for 5 turns.
Okay. You see them. It doesn't look like they're doing anything. But you see one, not the one throwing green fire, but another one run up. And you see someone dressed like a faculty member, although by this point you've sort of learned the telltale signs of a vampire. Uses what is quite clearly dominate, gets that person inside. The other person, you're not sure exactly what happened, but you know, there's that static charge in the air that means someone is using magic, and they just fall down. But the fight with Mr. Green Fireballs is a little more difficult. And what happens eventually within 5 turns is that campus security shows up and tases him. And that doesn't work, obviously, but it seems to be the cover for some more thaumaturgy because he just explodes.
oh, poor guy.
Although, give me, both of you, perception awareness, please, or wits awareness, please.
Okay. There.
Use an audience vote, so that's 5 successes.
Okay.
Wits awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Where's awareness? Where is it? Okay. 2 successes.
All right. So, Svetlana, you see this guy explode. And what you manage to catch is looking up through a window, you catch the face of one of the Tremere, so you know what they look like. And so, Sam, because you have celerity, you're used to sort of perceiving things that happen very quickly. And when you see Mr. Green Fireballs explode, you see more like he explodes out of his own skin. And he's there for half a second, surrounded by like vampire goo. And then he disappears in a flash of green fire.
Okay. This is just for effect, but I hand binoculars to Svetlana. I have her call out direction and wind speed, breathe in, breathe out, kill all witnesses and cameras, however many rounds it takes. Human witnesses.
I'm sorry?
Human witnesses.
Okay.
We're over here across the street with the fancy sniper rifle.
So you're just gonna start sniping any mortal you
The security
catch?
guards who saw that happen and any cameras in the vicinity.
All right, go ahead and roll me dexterity firearms, please.
Just once for the whole thing.
And hello, the pale dragon. Thanks for the raid.
Hey.
There's another audience vote to get 5 again.
Thank you.
Okay. Svetlana, are you firing at all?
I don't have
I have her
firearms.
being the spotter, like you do with real snipers.
Okay.
I'm using my eyeballs because I have a very happy trigger finger.
And what's your humanity?
6.
All right. Go ahead and make me a humanity check, please.
Sure. I mean, it's no different than when she shot humans when she was a human, but yeah. What's the human? Do I just roll with my dots in humanity?
Uh, no. So you should roll. You should make a conscience roll.
Okay.
So roll as many dice as you have dots in conscience, and the difficulty is 8.
Okay. Two successes.
All right. So you realize, like, halfway through helping Sam with this, like, you are destroying a lot of lives tonight. A lot of people aren't going to come home from work, and you've probably just created the next big mass shooting narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so, as you might imagine, Sam snipes the mortals. Because I know Sam's path, I will not call for a check. You're doing it perfectly.
Side note, remember those weapons we ran to the Anarchs?
Mm-hmm.
I used those rounds.
All right. And so you snipe the direct witnesses, and you see a few of the Tremere emerge from the chantry, and they start doing damage control. You can tell that they are throwing around a lot of Dominate. The cops show up, the news shows up, EMTs show up.
Text my handler. So here's what happened. Here's what we saw, assuming Svetlana mentions the Tremere face she saw, the full description of that in as much detail as possible. Here's the defenses that were used. Here's the name of the demon in question. And we were doing the beginning of week-long surveillance to try to get the information for you when this happened. And I don't know who initiated this or who those vampires were, but at least one of them was using Serpentis. I saw the weird golden eye shit.
Okay. You just get back, fuck, in all caps. He'll be in touch, but now he's got to put out some of his own fires.
Setup complete. I tell Svetlana, well, that was wildly successful. Cheek kiss, head back to the Haven.
All right.
How are we getting back to the Haven?
Same way we got here.
Okay.
Handy dandy church bus.
You get back to the bus, there's a parking ticket on it. All right.
I tell my preschool we'll do an extra donation to the church next Sunday to cover that expense. Drive us home, Jeeves.
He bitches about, nobody respects the church anymore, and who cares if he's illegally parked? They should see the church logo and give him a break. All right.
If only they knew your gods were real.
So, yeah, about an hour or two into the night, Svetlana and Sam arrive. What are the rest of you up to?
We only
I
have an
would.
hour.
Sorry.
I'm sorry?
We only have an hour left until we gotta go to sleep.
No, you're an hour into the night.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Okay, go ahead, Drew.
I wanted to go do the last drinking of my ghoul CEO.
All right, so you return, and Istvan's there just playing Xbox. Your new friend is like, "Come on, I got this shakes really badly, just a little bit. I know you know how to score."
Oh, now
So
you're.
he's now in withdrawal.
You know what? I'm starting to like you now because I told you. And he puts out his wrist and be like, "Have at it."
Oh, God.
Pops the needle in the wrist and just squirts it into his mouth or whatever, how you want to do it.
All right. So he starts out kind of reluctant, like he was last night, where he's like, "You're a weird cultist, but if this is what I have to do to survive, then fine." Uh, but as your vitae hits his tongue, you see this entire expression change, and he's now looking at you with, obsession, longing, devotion, and he's like, I am so sorry.
That's okay. Do you want to be let up now?
I mean, only if you want me to.
Yeah. I don't think there's any harm in it anymore. And I untie his binds and stuff like that. And I'm gonna tell him. I lead him to the couch and I'm like, sit down. We need to have a talk.
Oh yeah. Talk about what? And like this whole time, he's not taking his eyes off of you.
Okay. Out of character, would have Nora told me about the Camarilla ghoul in Santa Monica?
Thought we found that out together.
Okay. I couldn't remember or not. I thought we did, but I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask him and I'm gonna be like, okay, so there's one thing that you're gonna do for me. You're obviously the CEO of the hospital. I want you, and I'm gonna give him the address to the old safe house, and I'm gonna tell him, I want you to send 10 blood bags or 10, 12 blood bags every night to this address. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Oh yeah. I mean, it'll be a little difficult, but no, I can totally do it. Yeah, for sure.
As long as something gets there, that's all that matters to me. Okay. Another thing. What do you know about the CEO in Santa Monica?
Oh, that hospital?
Yep, that hospital. You
Oh, it's
guys are
like
CEOs.
it's like a charity clinic. Uh, they're always underfunded.
Underfunded? Why is that?
City budgets, I don't know, they run on donations. Like they treat people without charging for it.
Interesting. Do you know him personally?
I don't hang out with.
Hey, some
I mean-
higher ups hang out with other higher ups. You never know.
I mean, I've seen him at industry events, but I mean, do you want me to befriend him? I can.
Yeah. That's what I want you to do. Befriend him, watch him, kind of see what he does. Gather as much information as you can. Also, do you have any kids?
Yeah, I got a couple.
What about kids and your wife? Do you have a wife, obviously, if you have kids?
I mean, I had a wife, not anymore.
What'd you do?
I mean, I had too much time at the office, and I probably shouldn't have done the thing with the stripper.
Oh,
Wow.
I mean,
You know
she
something? Sorry.
she
Go on.
also didn't like the pills that much. Speaking of, like, do you have anything?
So tell me, why do you continue to do this if it's going to ruin your life? Yes.
I mean, it just feels so good.
What about my blood? My blood was good, wasn't it? Shouldn't that be enough for you?
I mean, if you want me to get clean, I'll try.
No. I care about my goals. And I do want you to get clean because someone like that obviously can't perform to the best of their abilities. So we'll do it together. Plus, the CEO, I don't know what he's into. He's probably into, heck, more. If you're into drugs, he may be into drugs too. So how about I help you? I'll get you some and I'll gradually wean you off them. Would that be fine?
Yeah, sure. That's really nice. That's like so generous. Wow, thank you so much. Yeah, and so you want me to find out about the guy who runs the clinic in Santa Monica?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get right on that. I mean, I should probably take a shower first.
Oh yeah, definitely. Specifically, I want to know if there's anything that he's doing, anything we can use against him. So.
Yeah, I'll get right on it.
And also, one more question. Is there anyone that you are necessarily close with in terms of the board? Do you, I guess, a second-hand man on the board?
Oh yeah. And he gives you the names of a couple other of the hospital executives.
Okay. Thank you. Go take a shower and you got big plans. And I smack him on the butt.
Okay. Don't mind me, I'm taking notes. How about Billy or Dimitri or Nora?
I'll go last.
So player is trying to kind of figure out where everyone's at and what because we've got the Chantry thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've got this Giovanni thing, which is different, and then Hollywood Forever.
Mm-hmm.
Our
Two
paths, demons.
And I'm sorry?
The paths, and then there's two demons running around. Tyler's thing, or Tyler, that was to set up what? I'm sorry?
You wouldn't know that. Nora would have to ask. But if you did, the answer you'd get would be, I'm doing business for the Sabbat beyond and above the pack.
Okay.
And it's not a lie.
Okay.
But you would know. No, you wouldn't. And we didn't even tell you I'm a Setite yet. Everyone but you knows that. Yeah, that's all you'd know. About that.
I guess Oh, okay. I guess I'll just focus on that then. I will go to Billy.
Hi.
Hello, Billy. I was wondering if you would be interested in helping me.
Maybe.
Maybe.
With what?
I need to procure something for a festival.
Ooh.
I am in charge of the refreshments. It's a large order. So I think at least 2 of us should go. And I was wondering, with all these wonderful plants you've been caring for, if maybe they could benefit us in this procurement.
Oh, yes.
Perfect. I need 12 total. So we'll need a way to move them. We need to figure out who they are, subdue them, and then move them to a certain location.
Important people?
No. Unmissed.
No fun.
I have a feeling that important people will be crossing our path shortly. Small steps.
Okay. I don't drive.
I can. When needed. Not stunt driving, but I can drive.
Maybe Hossam has a car. A big one.
I'm sure we can get a van.
Your fleet has one. We specifically did add one to the car fleet Hassan bought for the
Oh,
pack.
perfect. Yeah, then
Did
we
that get exploded?
That was the old
okay.
van, not the
think-
new one.
I think it's like GTA. When something gets exploded, just the new one populates in the
That's
in the
that's also
garage.
correct, but no, the van that blew up was the old ass one we started with.
Okay. We already
Old ass van.
we already have the van. Perfect. So when was this festival, Rachel? I apologize. What's the timeline on this?
It will be due the day before Halloween.
How long is that from now? Just because I don't know if they want these people like 2 weeks early. You know, like what the hell do you want me to do with these for 14 days?
Yeah.
Get
So
them nice and fed.
the celebration is going to be in a couple weeks.
In a couple weeks. Okay, so we've got time.
Yeah.
Okay. We have time. We can work and plan this out. You can harvest what you need to. And if we get them a few days early, maybe you can teach them some lessons before we turn them over.
I would love that.
Perfect. Very well. Yeah, so, I mean, there seems to be some pretty standard places to find people. So, yeah, we'll just set that up. We have time, so it's not pressing. So for right now, that's all really Nora needs to do. So I'll wait for everyone else to bring up what they're going to bring up.
Is Svetlana and Sam back to the base yet?
Carrying duffel bags smelling like dirt and cordite.
Oh, wow! You guys look like you had a good night or good hour.
Productive.
Nice.
It's
So,
necessary.
Svetlana, I know you told me you wanted something. I did get something. I know it
As
hasn't
soon
been
as you
long.
start speaking and she can tell that you're about to say things, she immediately like closes the distance between the two of you and like puts her finger on your mouth. Please come to my room.
Note taken. That's what I'll do.
And she'll escort you to her room and close the door behind you guys.
Sounds good.
Now you can speak.
So are we hiding stuff from Sam there, or what does he know about this?
Nothing. It's none of his business right now.
Okay. I'm just the messenger. Well, like I said, it's still a little too early to tell right now. But I did call Titus back. And he's definitely this sheriff. He's definitely living the high life for just a regular old sheriff. Like movie star. Like big old mansion and everything. So he's getting a pretty buck from something.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what. But I thought I'd tell you what I know now.
Thank you.
Yep.
And
Just being a team player.
if you find anything out in the future, please talk to me in private.
Note taken. One wouldn't dare give the chance to be alone with you. And I leave.
All right.
That everybody?
I don't, if what Billy and Nora went over counts as Billy also.
I'm sorry.
Brain. If I don't know if Billy's talk with Nora counts as Billy's whatever they're doing.
I don't.
I think before speaking with Nora, Billy would have been procuring plants
Oh, okay.
into space.
Sure.
Ooh, maybe on the rooftop.
That's where your sire keeps hers.
Yeah, I don't want people stumbling upon a garden that has probably illegal plants in it.
Okay. Well, this actually seems like a really good lull in the narrative to take our 10-minute break. So, we will see everybody at 7:26 where I am, 9:26 where everybody else is.
10:26.
10. It's
10.
10:30 in real time.
I can do
Yes.
math.
10:30
I
real
promise.
time. So,
Ah.
all right, everybody.
have returned. Thank you for waiting. And so I believe now it is time for the wrecking crew to decide their next move. You've got a lot of options on the table.
A damn wrecking crew.
You know, someone somewhere in the city is saying that tonight.
Damn right. Can we go over the options? Because there's a lot to remember there.
Well, so I think in character, I'll call the kind of normal meeting when we all sort of are finally at the Haven together. I know a few hours have passed since we've woke up, so it's not the normal first thing we do. But I'll call everyone, and good evening, everybody. It's good to see you all.
Hello. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I had an interesting meeting while I was gone, so some new information's been presented to me. However, it raises another opportunity for the group as a whole, which is what today's discussion is about. Congratulations, Dimitri. You don't have to listen to me talk about Cain for once. Today's logistical meeting, everybody. So, Thom, you're still the war leader, right?
Clearly.
I'm assuming we all have things floating around, so we need to decide where to put our attention. Everyone, what they are doing on the table, let's list their importance, our capabilities of completing them, and figure out what we're doing and when. Okay? Don't everybody jump up at once at this.
You know me.
And what is it that you're working on currently, Billy?
Oh. My garden.
Okay. And is there anything you need or are looking to do with this garden currently?
It's part of your spiritual growth.
Well, my vampire mommy. And Lilith.
Okay. Sorry for the clacking whilst you're taking notes.
Oh, you're fine.
Hello,
Thank you for the
Sugar Eggs.
raid.
Thank you for the raid.
Sugar Axe with 5. Woo! You are just in time as we're going over all of our multiple plot lines to figure out what we're going to go blow up next. Does anyone else have any pressing issues they wish to bring forward to the group?
So, out of character.
Okay. Are we going over what everybody has done, or are we going over what we're going to tackle next? Because that's why I'm kind of confused. So I'm stating that we should talk about either whatever we want to bring to the group. So obviously what you are willing to share with the group as to what you've done is going to depend on how open your character is. I'm not saying I'm not saying we have to tell everyone everything if you have secrets, but we have so many plot lines, we need to figure out what we're doing. So okay.
Two things as the storyteller. Don't feel like anything is imperative, because I'm not going to punish you if you manage to not get something done. Also, check your character sheets, because once you start getting up to about Vinculum 3 with someone, that is when the supernatural effect of the blood bond sort of inspires a false trust. So you can roleplay that however you want. I just wanted to make sure that you know to look at that. And there's a cat!
I almost
We-
just spit all of my water on my keyboard because of that dang cat.
We have been visited by the void.
Perfect.
All right. So yeah, I'll go next. Well, good news. I got our supply of blood. I got our supply of blood bags. That's gonna last us for a while. It's gonna be at our old haven, so I'd send some ghouls to go get it, but they're gonna send at least 15 bags a day there. So we'll never run out of blood.
Good resources for the haven.
Yep. I didn't want them to bring it here because that'd be a little suspicious, and
Sure.
bringing stuff like that's kind of stupid. So,
Okay.
other than that, the Giovanni contacted me. I believe I already told you about that one.
Yes, so the Giovanni have contacted you. We have an in with the Giovanni, apparently.
We do. She hates basically what happened with that was she's a branch of the Giovanni that basically got, I won't say exiled, but basically put to the back burner. Wasn't as important as the rest of the clan. And basically killed out the rest of them, besides maybe a few. Now they want revenge. So that's the whole thing on there.
Okay.
And yeah, I have a plan for the mansion, so we'll see how that goes.
I see. Okay. Dimitri, you're still working on the Hollywood Forever thing?
Yeah, I'm working on putting the word out there. I just need to know a place and a time. Secret messages go out at the same time.
I have been tasked with procuring refreshments for a certain festival in a few weeks for some of our leadership. So at some point I will need to be able to do that. That is my most pressing goal at the moment. Anyone else have anything?
Go for Pepsi.
I believe they are an RC cola group.
Oh, they like that Fagel stuff? Ugh. LaCroix?
I could still taste, even during my own death, the taste of stag. Weren't there demons?
Did you just say wither demons?
I said weren't there demons.
Svetlana,
Yes,
you've been incredibly quiet for this.
I have.
You're part of the group. We're putting our goals out so that we can help each other. That's what we do here. What is it that you're working towards? How can we help you?
She grabs out like a laptop and like puts it on the table, opens it up, brings up a map of LA County with some areas circled on it. To anyone, I guess, who is familiar with it, they would notice that the areas circled are Sabbat territories. The LA County Sheriff is being paid to crack down on crime in Sabbat-only territories. It's very obvious that he's being paid probably by the Camarilla, as he lives a very lush lifestyle for someone who is a mortal sheriff. Also, I had a run-in with the actual Camarilla sheriff yesterday.
Okay, so this is the sorry, out of character. This is the mortal sheriff of LA?
Yes. Yes, the
Okay.
immortal sheriff of LA is being paid to crack down on Sabbat only territories.
Okay. Okay. Sam, anything to offer?
Sabbat is a large organization. There are sects within sects. I am part of one of those sects now. So sometimes I may have to do things that don't involve the rest of you. It doesn't mean we're keeping secrets. It means we're compartmentalizing information for the safety of all because the Sabbat is above even the pack. However, you should be aware, they are not our tool. We are theirs. On that note, you may read about some chaos that happened in a different part of the city. It's under control. The potential rewards we may reap from such a thing will be impressive.
Perfect.
Anyone who turns on the news in any form, radio, TV, newspaper, there was a terrorist attack at UCLA.
Wow.
Jeez. Okay.
Jesus.
It would appear, not confirmed yet, it would appear that one of the sections of town, I list which one, controlled by a sect known as the Setites, is trying to set us up for war against the Camarilla. We may have to deal with them harshly.
The Setite territory is Malibu.
Sorry, say the last thing again, Tyler.
There's a certain faction that controls part of the city in Malibu. They're called the Setites. They seem to be trying to pit us against the Camarilla to re-spark the war.
Nice.
We may have to deal with them harshly.
That should be fun.
You are some Setite. So it would appear that we're making some enemies in our short time together. The Giovanni, Hollywood Forever, and these Setites trying to cause a overall war with the Sabbat and the Camarilla that Hassan's got information on. We can't do these all at once. We're only one pack right now. Where do we put our attention?
Well, we can't do the Giovanni. There's just way too many questions right now, and right now I'm just covert gathering information currently from them. So,
I personally think that we have one that directly affects one of our pack members. Dimitri's life has been threatened by Hollywood Forever. We should take care of them first. Because anything that challenges Dimitri's life challenges all of ours.
Dimitri is family.
by all means.
Dimitri bringing enemies to our door threatens us. As long as that is family, then sure.
That too.
I mean, do you care more about the individual or the group?
That is the
That's a good
entire
point.
question that the Sabbat asks players.
Depends on the individual.
Do you have a different
It's
thought,
a good
Svetlana?
point.
Do.
Also, what happened to your accent? I thought you had an accent.
You talking to me? Don't call me on my accent. That's rude. I can't even remember the first accent I did the first night. I'll find it again. Don't worry. I'll pick it up, put it in my purse.
It's in a drawer somewhere.
It's in a drawer somewhere.
I wasn't sure if it was part of some deception. I didn't know.
No, it's Savannah.
Go ahead,
The-
Svetlana. What was your thought?
The sheriff creates chaos for Sabat as a whole. It would be of great worth to us to deal with that and gain higher standing.
In higher standing.
So that would depend on how you decided to go about it, because the sheriff is an elected position, and so you would have to figure out a way that his replacement would be someone that you control. Otherwise, the Camarilla would just swoop in and ghoul the new guy.
Okay. Agree, Svetlana, that would benefit us as it protects the Sabbat as a whole, but the involvement of that is one that could take a while to plan.
We're dead, are we not? We need to reevaluate how we view time. A long game is the only game that matters.
So play a long game.
Yes. Find someone new, groom them, recruit them, and when we're ready, exchange power. We don't need to think in terms of weeks. We can plan in terms of years.
I also think that if we get the right dirt on them, what happens when the public learns about shady shit that goes on with special elected officials like that?
Tom
I
laughs
have-
out loud. Have
Re-elect
you
them?
read the news? No one cares.
We're just
Well, sometimes they do. But the sheriff is elected by the board of directors of the county. You get the board members on your side, you can do whatever you want.
There are a couple of ways to get them on your side, too. There's the Camarilla way, which is to corrupt them and put them in our pocket and use politics. And then there's the Sabat way, which is to make them want to run him out of town because he fails at his job. If the streets run red, then they'll want him out. That's what we do, isn't it?
And that I think we could play, and I agree with you on that, Hassan. We could also use that on the entirety of the Camarilla, kind of make a war and attrition, you know?
Not that simple with them, but on their pawn, yes.
I like it. But I think we should deal with Demetrius first, considering his life is on the line right now. Because if we lose him, we do lose somebody in our pack.
Yes, Dimitri's problem is superior.
Perfect.
All right.
Then
So
Dimitri is
how-
the most immediate. Oh, sorry.
Oh, nope, sorry. Carry on.
Perfect. Then we've decided that Dimitri is the most immediate issue to handle, and the LA sheriff, we can slow roll the situation. Excellent.
Svetlana closes her laptop and pulls it back towards her.
And I say, we let Svetlana take charge of the sheriff's situation and tell us what she thinks we should do and how we should do it and when.
I agree. Should be fun.
All
Svetlana
right.
looks at Nora for approval.
Keep an eye on that, Svetlana. I'm sure your insight will be most useful.
All right. So, how would you like to go about helping Dimitri solve his problem?
Out of character, Are you okay filling them in on the plan, or do you want to keep most of that a secret?
Is that to me
like
or
the
to
rest of the
Eric?
time?
To Eric.
Eric.
Okay.
Oh, I think that's fine. I mean, that's kind of the reason why he brought it to you, right?
Okay.
Is so that it's whatever effort, however kind of an effort Nora wants to put on it, she'll delegate tasks to make it happen.
Okay, perfect.
It's just like, hey, I had an idea, and you're the leader, so
Okay.
what do you think we can do with it?
All right. Dimitri, back in character. Dimitri, in a excellent example of self-preservation, determination, came to me with a plan, one that I think that we can all contribute to. And one that actually may help some of the other things that we've been talking about. We're going to facilitate a meeting between two groups who do not know that they're going to be facilitated. Hollywood Forever and the Camarilla.
But how?
Well, Dimitri's the bait for one, and we know where a certain Camarillion ghoul is. One that is of fair importance that they'll want back. If we take him and we set up a swap, we can get Camarilla and Hollywood Forever in the same place. From there, we can either let the blood flow, as Hassam said, or use the Sabbat's own dogma against Hollywood Forever, as facilitating a meeting with the Camarilla is heresy. Hassam, you up for doctoring some photos and seeing what the Sabbat does to Camarilla supporters? Or is this
Hey,
something...
Dimitri? Absolutely. Out of character, you're my highest vinculum, buddy. I don't know how that happened. That's Rachel's fault.
Not mine.
Very complicated die rolls.
Yup.
Perfect.
If I may, one thing that we can perhaps use to our benefit to cement this idea that the Camarilla and Hollywood Forever are, we can plant some of their blood bags onto their premises, perhaps, or one of their safe houses. So perhaps when the Sabbat or someone goes to check, they see some incriminating evidence and they have no choice but to act.
Yes, maybe if we knew what a particular group was looking for to confirm a heretic that could benefit us.
All right. So, just to make sure that I, as the storyteller, understand the plan,
Yes.
you're gonna try and get a couple Camarilla in the same place as Hollywood Forever,
Yes.
and just sort of let them take each other out.
So it would be a combination of take each other out, but
Mhm.
then we're hoping to get some pictures of the first part of the meet, right? Where they would kind of be figuring out who each other are.
Okay.
And then if any Hollywood Forever people survive that encounter, we doctor and set them up as being Camarilla, like, defectors, essentially. And the meet just went bad. If, since they'll say, no, we killed them, this would make it look like they were trying to have a meeting of some sort. And then either the Camarilla takes out Hollywood Forever, or the Sabbat does for meeting the Camarilla. That's essentially the plan.
That's really devious. I love it. All right. So, how would you like to undertake the first step of this plan?
We need to kidnap the ghoul from the blood bank. So first step is first. We need something the Camarilla wants, and we know
Me and everyone else who has played Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines just laughed.
where. Okay. Apologies. Maybe there's a better plan then.
No, this is gonna be amazing.
Okay.
No, it is funny, but it's not. There is no better plan.
Okay. So I say, first things first. We need.
Sure, you haven't played that game?
Me? No. We have to procure something that Camarilla wants, and again, we know where one of their ghouls are, so we should take him. Extraction mission.
All right.
How do you plan on baiting him out? I don't agree that we should just go in there and try to kidnap him.
Well, they should use some of our reconnaissance. Find out. We know where he is going to be. We know the hospital or the blood bank where he is regularly. So, Drew, do you have a way of being able to know people's schedules without them being aware of it?
Yeah,
Excellent.
I could figure that out. I could probably also maybe get some dirt on him too. Maybe we can blackmail him out.
We don't need to blackmail him because we want to draw the Camarilla out.
Okay.
Right?
No taken. I'll have a lady tail him. And I'll give her specific instructions. I want to know when he's alone most of the time, like if he's walking down the street by himself, like if he walks to work and he's alone between his house and work, stuff like that.
Okay, this will take about a week.
Okay. And I tell Nora that it will be a little bit of time though. About a week.
Oh.
That's when we'll know the full length of it.
Okay. Understood.
And I am not saying that to dissuade you. I know that we've been running this game like night by night by night.
Mm-hmm.
That is because you're all very, very new to it. So at this point, time skips are not that bad.
Okay.
I am going to charge you blood for them.
Sure. I just, with all the different plot lines, and we were talking about timelines, I don't want anyone's plot to get skipped over if we jump a week. So, okay.
All right. So is there anything that anyone would like to get done in the week where Drew is getting the intel?
Yep, you're going to see it in a second.
All right. Svetlana, your contacts reach out to you. Or rather, yes. So your contacts will tell you that he's been suspected of being corrupt for a long time, but he is less corrupt, or at least appears to be less corrupt than his predecessor, and no one has ever really been able to prove anything that he's done. For Drew, what you will get back from Titus is that every so often he'll take a phone call. Not sure what the number is. It's an unknown number. There's a woman's voice on the other end, and she gives him orders, and that's the extent of their conversation.
Okay. I will.
And it is definitely associated with the crackdown in Sabbat territory.
Okay. I will knock on Svetlana's door and knock, basically. And I'll go in.
She's probably just sitting on her chair, like reading the newspaper or something.
You gotta also remember to time things correctly because it's my room too.
Oh,
So if you're trying to keep it secret, you'd want to make sure I wasn't there.
I thought you guys had separate rooms. Okay. Then yeah, I would definitely choose a time, like if I knew that Assam wasn't there, and then I would go.
Yeah, she's just lounging, reading the newspaper.
Okay. So I have more information about that sheriff of yours.
Yes.
Wow. Basically, what's going on is the sheriff takes a phone call from an unknown number. I don't know what the number is. Titus didn't know either. But it was a woman's voice. And it definitely pertained to what was going on in the Sabbat territories. Basically, she was giving him orders and going from there.
Do these calls happen with a frequency that we could attempt to track the number?
I don't think so. Storyteller, is it that way?
I don't think she can hear you. Rachel.
Just reading my
Yes.
side message.
Yeah, no, that's fun. All right, what is the question?
Are the phone calls frequent that we can track the number, like frequent enough?
That we could attempt to like
You-
triangulate the number during one of the phone calls.
You would need some heavy duty hacking into the local cellular infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody has that on their sheet.
I don't, but I'm sure I could find somebody.
What are we looking for?
Oh, what about your boyfriend?
Hacking. He's not my boyfriend.
I meant Hassan.
I know that's her response.
Oh, gotcha.
Boyfriend implies a casual relationship, sir.
boy.
I can make that happen, yes.
Well, there you go. Is there anything you need from me, Svetlana?
I don't think at this time. Did you need any help with your...
No, but if you do need help, I do find this rather interesting and would like to help with what is going on here. So if you need me, just give me a call.
I know
And,
where you sleep.
I don't know whether to be safe or not safe.
She gives you like a little wink as you walk out the door.
I don't. Would I be able to do stuff throughout that week, or do I have to concentrate on the whole lady thing?
The lady thing. No, that's the joy of having a zoo of retainers as they do shit for you and
Okay,
free
just
your
making sure.
time up to work on your own stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. I'd actually like to get on the call with Jack, and I want to ask him about some of these executives, and ask him who's closest for like a promotion to become like a CEO or an executive of like a CEO of another hospital.
Sure. Yeah, you get the name of a couple administrators who aren't happy where they're at right now and are ready for a career change.
As in going to getting the promotion and getting the CEO, or
Yeah, so what specifically are you looking for? Like what's the reason for this question?
I'll send it to you on the side on that part. But basically,
right.
I want someone that's basically hungry to go to the next step to become the CEO of another hospital. I don't know if that's how that works, or if I have to, or because are the hospitals all independent or are they all owned by the same company?
I mean, it really depends on the hospital. You get a little bit of both.
Okay,
A lot of them are run by the Catholic Church.
gotcha.
So what is your end goal here?
Not a ghoul, but having like my inside man in a seat at the charge of a CEO of another hospital. In charge. Basically, I guess getting someone fired and then putting my guy
So
in, basically.
you do have a really good in right now with Jack.
Okay.
And you probably don't want to spread yourself too thin, because getting control of the CEO of the clinic in Santa Monica will only get you marginally closer to the ghoul.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Anybody else?
Yes.
No, don't you dare get under there.
All
I'm
right.
sorry.
What would you like to do?
So after a few days, in like the first or second day, I just kind of want to make some general notes about where I'm going to get 12 people from. I assume from the normal places you go to get, vampire food, like people who are in unfortunate situations and stuff like that, right? The kind of
There's
missed.
a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tent cities in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Yes, there are.
In the world of darkness, there's even more.
Yeah. So finding a place where we could get 12 people who wouldn't be missed, and unfortunately, is not that big of a concern. So I make a note about where we would go to get them, just kind of have that prepared, and then after a day or two of kind of getting that part of it set up, I go to Billy again. Billy.
What's up?
So, remember we talked about procurement of refreshments for the festival in a few weeks?
Yes.
Perfect. So I've done, little preliminary work on that, and I think we'll be able to find 12 people relatively easy. However, I'm curious if you can test something on them with me.
What's that?
Well, you have this beautiful garden and these interesting plants.
Thank you.
It seems as though what's in a person when drank goes into the vampire, correct?
I think so.
I need something that puts I need something that puts... I can't... I'm looking at this camera just going crazy. Sorry.
Sebastian!
I'm sorry. He's at the back of my monitor pawing at it.
I need something that will put someone
you have to
like...
spend 10,000 channel points to create this kind of chaos.
I need something that will put someone like us asleep.
Oh.
Or at least highly weakened.
Maybe I can.
Perfect.
I'll try.
Okay.
we'll need to test.
Of course.
I'm excited.
Excellent. I am too.
Who do we test?
I'll figure that part out later. For now, how about you get the prototype ready?
Okay.
Perfect. So that's what I need from Billy. Something that if we inject or fill a human with, knocks a vampire out. From their super garden.
All right. This is fun. So, Billy, go ahead and give me an intelligence plus either medicine or occult, whichever one is better. And tell me which one you're using.
Occult.
Okay.
Oh, if it's a cult, I can help.
Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't
You-
realize
you
it would be a
can-
cult.
Yeah, it's about the magic animating the vampiric body and how you can fuck with it.
What's the role?
Intelligence plus occult.
And
This is where you're a Viking.
Should I wait till after or?
No, go ahead, make your roll.
Oh, okay.
I have many votes.
2 successes.
Okay.
I will use a vote for a free willpower.
All right.
Oh, I should have done that. Oh, well, too late now.
I mean, I'll let you do that.
Oh, just roll 3 dice for the willpower roll.
No, that is a Chronicles of Darkness rule. The World of Darkness rule is that you just get a free success.
Oh, okay. I forget.
That is 5 successes for me.
Nice.
All right. I am answering one of the secret messages. Hold, please.
Please hold while we connect you. If you're waiting for fresh blood, press 1. If you wish to go hunting for your blood, which is considered self-service, press 2.
You wish to be
Por
the
español,
blood,
press
press
3.
3.
All right. So that is 5 successes and 2 successes. Did I hear that correctly?
3 because I bought 1 success with the willpower.
All right, so 8 total successes. That's pretty impressive. So you think of the easy stuff, like cobra venom turns blood to jello.
Mhm.
That hurts vampires too. But I mean, it's gonna kill the mortal also. So probably not that one. But between Billy's new interest in poison and Nora's understanding of how the Vitae animates the vampiric form, you can put together a pretty noxious tea that will eventually kill the mortal. So you're gonna take some humanity hits for that, but that'll be fine. It will eventually kill the mortal, but it will kill them slowly. So a vampire is just gonna look and see someone who's been drugged. And then, Nora, you also remember, like, people react weirdly, like, to Dimitri's blood. Like, that's what created the whole problem
Yeah.
with Hollywood Forever.
So I know that I've had that in the back of my head. I've been trying to figure out a way to ask Dimitri for his super poison blood. Because I know he's
Well,
a little weirded out by it, so.
Spider blood.
you've got a really good reason right now.
There you go. Okay. This is a good start, Billy. Let's focus that. But I'm gonna follow up on one thing and see if we can put a little something extra in here. Okay.
What?
Well, we have a.
Jesus Christ. Okay, this will be great.
Did. Well, That's also. That was also why I wasn't sure about Dimitri's blood. If you're reading the message.
So when the Nosferatu tried to diablerize Dimitri, he drank everything from Dimitri. Because that's what you have to do when you embrace someone. Because you've got to drink all their blood.
Okay. Okay. I think I understand what you're saying. Okay. So I'm gonna go talk to Dimitri. His blood is special.
Oh. Okay. How?
How am I going to talk to him?
No. How is it special?
You remember, his blood hurts those who drink it. Maybe it could be a additive or enhancement to what you're making. If he's willing to give it up.
That's perfect. I like this.
Excellent.
All right. Go ahead, have that scene.
So, I will make my way to Dimitri. Yikes.
Oh, hey, what's up, boss?
Hi. I was wondering if I could speak with you, please. Since we just had a conversation about you, I'd love to talk to you about me.
I'm not in trouble, right?
No. No.
Oh,
Far
sure.
from.
Go ahead.
Let's take a walk.
Sure.
Okay. And definitely leaving the Haven for this conversation. So we will walk somewhere that I know is not bugged. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Dimitri, you're a pretty straightforward guy, right? You don't like being dragged along?
No, of course not. No.
You want to know what's going on, right?
Sure.
Okay. I need your blood.
I'm sorry?
Out of character, you missed out on a prime opportunity. I want to have your blood.
I need samples of your blood.
It is very dangerous. You know that, right?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay. How much do you need?
I know you're struggling, so I can't ask you to give up too much and put yourself in danger. Just a couple of vials will be fine.
Okay, I can do that. When do you need it by?
I'd like you to talk to Billy about it. They will...
Bill?
Billy.
This was their idea or your idea?
Our idea.
Oh, okay. Sure, I talked to Billy.
Can I attempt to gauge whether or not Dimitri's just saying, yeah, sure, no problem, and he's gonna just give a couple of vials of just any old blood?
Yeah, so what can happen is Eric can choose to relent to the challenge, in which case we'll tell you what Dimitri's really feeling.
Okay.
But if Dimitri wants to be squirrely, you can have a roll off. Wits plus empathy versus charisma subterfuge or manipulation subterfuge.
Okay. Because, yeah. Oh, he's rolling. Okay.
You could also just frog march him to Billy.
I could just be fucking with you too.
Also that.
Okay, I have my total.
I'll use another willpower for that. Uncheck. Holy balls. Okay. I mean, it's in the chat for everybody. I got eight successes.
Oh shit.
A lot of successes.
Wow.
All right, so Dimitri, tell us how you're really feeling.
Doesn't know what this is about exactly. So he's just kind of like, why would she want my blood? So he's thinking the only reason they would need his blood is to study it or to use it on somebody to kill them. He figures since he's already sort of in her graces that he'll just be like, all right, fine, whatever you want.
Oh,
All right.
really?
Yeah. It's like,
All
sure,
right.
I give you, we family now, so yes, of course.
Yes.
This helps you, help me, then yes, okay.
I
All right.
appreciate that, Dimitri. I appreciate that very much.
So you do go to Dimitri, or I'm sorry, Dimitri, you do go to Billy?
Yeah, just the follow
All right.
up.
So Billy, you start taking a sample of Dimitri's blood, and I'm not going to charge you this blood point, Eric, because what happens is you draw it out and you put it into a vial, and almost in front of your eyes, it turns to dust.
Whoa.
What just happened? Hey, that needle sucks. What is that? You know what I mean.
Not me. It's you.
That never happened before. What is that?
I mean, yeah, that has never happened during the Valdery.
Because I purify everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what this means.
You broke it.
What? How do you break blood? This
Billy.
makes no sense.
Billy.
I don't know.
Well, hold on, Billy. Try this. And I will press my fang kind of into my thumb
Mm-hmm.
and have some blood drip.
I look at the needle tip. Is it silver?
No, it is not silver. It is, I mean, Unless Billy wants to have like a really cool needle. I'm assuming it's hospital grade stainless steel.
It's
Steel, right? I'm like,
Steel.
why would it do? Okay, weird.
All right, but
I-
yeah,
I run some
Nora,
blood, and then I will drip 1 or 2 drops into the dusted vial. How does
Yeah.
vampire blood react to the dust?
So it looks like it might reconstitute it a little bit, and then Nora's blood devolves to dust. So it seems that without magic, like the Voldery or something else, vampire blood is only viable outside of the vampire for about a minute.
So it's not the dust. I see. Dust coming out of the vampire. Okay, the blood going out of the vampire turns to dust. Not that Dimitri specifically did it.
Any vampire blood
Any
would
vampire.
do this unless you happen to know ways to preserve it, which those do exist. They're just difficult to learn.
Okay.
Difficult in
Maybe,
that most people don't know how to do it, so you have to find someone who does and then convince them to teach you.
maybe Hossam knows.
Perhaps. I'm just curious if the dust retains any of the aspects of Dimitri.
I will give you this one for free. It does not.
It does not. Okay. Okay.
Yes. And like same thing, like if you were to cut your finger off,
hmm
it would decay into nothing.
So the magic of the kind of reanimation is just going away, and it's the time's catching up to it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Perfect. We'll run this.
Dimitri dust.
Well, for now, keep working on options with your garden, Billy. Dimitri, I appreciate your assistance, and we'll see if we have a more viable solution.
No, of course.
Do we want...
We tried.
We did. We're not... It's not done. It's not done. Another opportunity may present itself. Like I said, you still have your garden, and maybe Hassam will know something.
True.
Okay. Or... Okay.
What?
I was just out of character. Steve's head was like maybe Drew, like literally dealing with dead and decay and everything as much as he does.
Maybe not him, but his sire.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We had a plan that we were focusing on, and I've taken up too much time. I'll circle back with everyone else about this plot.
All right.
Well, so some time has passed. I did get some information from Lady. Turns out our guy is a collector of relics from musicians and actors, part of the 27 Club. Basically, people died at the age of 27.
Mm-hmm.
He works nights in the basement of the Santa Monica Blood Bank. He spends most of his time alone there. He's also doing something really fucked up. He's capturing weak vampires and harvesting their vitae. And you not believe this, but the ghoul that the person he belongs to is the Prince of the Camarilla. Tourette Vorman. I don't know. I think I said that right.
You did.
Interesting.
So there you go.
Enjoy that, video game fans.
Well, we gotta. I think we need to be a little careful with this, considering he belongs to the Camarilla Prince.
Yes.
Very careful.
But that might also work in your favor, because if this was like nobody's ghoul, then nobody would care about getting him back.
Exactly. It's someone of somewhat importance that they'll actually come try to. I mean, they're gonna come guns blazing, and Hollywood Forever's about to get steamrolled. So that's the goal here.
And everyone was back at the Haven, correct?
Yes,
My
yes.
understanding, yeah.
I was just
Yeah.
like, wait, I just said that when nobody's around.
Yeah, Nora said that she was going to address the whole pack, so anyone can respond to this information.
That's what I got.
Oh, perfect. So the Camarilla Prince owns the blood bank.
Pretty
Okay.
much.
Yep.
We take his blood bank, we put it in their pockets, we snap a few pictures. It'll take care of itself.
It's a good point.
All right. And so, did you want to set up the meeting with Hollywood Forever? Or do you want to follow up on the ghoul first?
Dimitri will offer that he will be willing to put the word on the street for Hollywood Forever, that he's going to challenge their biggest, toughest asshole or whatever to a big fight outside of this Kumite thing. All he needs really is a date and a time. So as soon as he knows that, as that part of the plan, then he'll spread the word, and everything. It'll go.
All right.
Good, because we probably will have a small window of opportunity once the ghoul goes missing. So, perfect.
So, what you hear back is that, so the Nosferatu who died was the Ductus. He had what is essentially Sam's job, the war leader of the pack. There has been an internal power struggle in the pack to decide who's going to take his place. It looks like it's going to be Theta Bara. And as soon as that is confirmed, she plans to issue you a monomacy and has no real interest in fighting you outside of that.
A fancy way of saying a pardon?
No, that is the Kumite. That,
okay.
yes.
Okay.
So, monomacy is essentially the ritual combat that the Sabbat use to settle their differences and even questions of doctrine, but if you lose, you get diablerized.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Salubri NA is correct. A monomacy is the Sabbat's version of Meet Me in the Arby's parking lot. So, you could try getting the jump on them and challenging them to the monomacy first.
Yeah, sure. As long as we
Thank
get
you
to
for
choose
the
the location.
followed night prophecies.
I ask Nora, you know the law of the Sabbat or whatever, right? Like, you know the tradition. Who gets to set the place and the time? Is it the challenger or the person who accepts?
It is the challenger, right?
No, it is the challenged. Well,
Oh.
so essentially what happens is they issue the Monomacy challenge, and then the two priests get together and work out the details between themselves.
Oh, okay. So once the challenge is accepted, then it's the job of the priests of each pact to decide when and where.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm just relaying that to Dimitri. So if we want it to be the side parking lot of a Burger King, we can, I'm sure.
Sure, why not? We'll go out for fries afterwards and shakes.
Well, since it doesn't ultimately matter if you are the challenger or the challengee, then the sooner we get the challenge out there, the sooner that we get the ball rolling on getting something set up. As mentioned, once we snatch the ghoul, we'll want to be able to do the setup as quickly as possible.
Very good. We can do that.
All right, I'm sorry. I was answering a question in chat. So, what is the scheme du jour?
I think we just said that since ultimately it doesn't matter if he's the challenger or challengee,
Mhm.
to just go ahead and put the challenge out on the streets and then get the ball rolling on getting a time and place secured so we know kind of our timeline to snatch the ghoul and get him somewhere where the camera will show up.
All right. Yeah. So, you managed to successfully. So, you want to be the ones to challenge the pact of Monomacy, yes?
I think what Steve is saying is that it doesn't matter ultimately, as long as we get a date, a place, and a time. That's all that matters, and then we can kind of go
Yeah.
from there and moving the ghoul in and what have you.
Yeah, because if we're just sitting there waiting for them to challenge, then we don't know. Like, we'd be waiting longer, essentially. So, yeah.
The one advantage we would have is that we would have control over where we're going to set the fight. But he's saying like he
Okay.
wants it, you know. I'll leave that to her planning.
Well, again, it's worked out by both groups. There's no, like, one side doesn't pick specifically, right?
True. Yeah.
I want to make sure I'm
Yeah,
understanding
it's
that
always-
right.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Essentially, the priests are your seconds in this duel. And they work out the details.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Since we want this to happen as part of our plan, we'll be the challengers so that we can get it going.
All right. So you issue the challenge for Monomacy, or at the very least to come at me, bro.
Yeah.
And so Hollywood Forever is accusing Dimitri of murdering their old ductus. And Dimitri is presumably saying I had nothing to do with him dying. Like, sometimes your head just explodes in a motorcade. Sometimes you just keel over.
Happens.
All right. And so, near the end of this week, someone shows up, or probably would not show up at your haven because you don't want these fuckers to know where you sleep. You would meet them at the cathedral.
Oh.
And so,
Ooh, can we set up somewhere else?
so this is for the initial priest to priest meeting.
Okay.
This would not be for the actual fight.
Right. Okay. Okay. Sure.
All right. So Nora has to go.
Yes.
Who else would like to come with Nora?
I shall.
Okay.
Sam, since this is gonna actually be us setting up someone, do you want to be there or not?
If you need me to be, then I'll go.
It's just asking. it's we'll take care of it. So Billy, me, that it? Okay, sounds like.
Well, this is to set up Dimitri's monomacy
Yeah.
situation. Does Dimitri need to come along?
I don't think so. Usually, I don't think it's a pre-fight weigh-in, so
Oh.
probably want to keep the two people fighting each other away from each other.
Okay.
So
I
yeah,
have
me and,
other plan.
so yeah, me and Billy will go to the cathedral.
Tam also leaves 5 minutes after they do. Errands.
All right. So you get to the cathedral, and waiting for you is, in fact, the entirety of the surviving members of Hollywood Forever. And so you see the old silent film actress Theda Bara, she's there. There is a guy who looks kind of tough, like he's got anger issues. Another guy dressed in a very nice all black suit, black jacket, black shirt, black tie, everything black. And then there is this she's got this very Tilda Swinton air about her where it looks like she's trying to perfect androgyny. And you can see like very thin scars all across her body where she has molded herself with vicissitude.
Hey. I'll walk up and just kind of look at the other priest directly. Did you bring enough people?
Well, my apologies if your pack does not enjoy your company.
No. This just not important.
Well, let's get this over with.
Perfect. So where do you want it to take place?
Here is fine.
To pray you don't lose.
We're not going to lose.
That's a nice thought.
No offense, but I don't want to sully this place with this ridiculous...
You're calling the rites of Cain ridiculous, priest.
I'm calling your claim ridiculous.
Well, that is what the monomacy will determine. Fine, where do you want it?
Somewhere where I look around, everyone else won't have to see what we do to you.
What we do to you? Fine, pick a place.
I'll just somewhere isolated away that fits what we're trying to do. I don't know LA location specifically out of character.
Yeah, you can be like this abandoned. You can be the abandoned construction site.
Oh yeah, I know this perfect old parking garage that is already heavily damaged, so no collateral damage will be. As much collateral damage as possible has already been done, so you can both go all out. No concerns.
All right, fine. You get to pick the place. We'd like to get this over with. We'll meet you the night before Palo Grande.
Okay. Works for us.
Looks like we'll have something extra to celebrate.
Cheers
So-
indeed.
I assume we're going to do this the normal way, 20-foot circle. No one leaves until someone wins.
There's no other way. All of the rules to the T.
Yeah, and so storyteller note, you can, if you want, be like, no, we want a chess game or something. That is just sort of like the default way to do monomacy.
No, it's fine. The 20-foot
Wait, you-
circle.
You could just play rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah. I
If
did
you want to
that
get
one.
That
real meta,
determines-
yes, you can.
Wow.
And that determines who like
Wow.
actually gets eaten.
Huh?
Although, actually, I
Rochambeau you.
was sitting down. I had a game of marbles.
No.
Marbles.
It's a joke.
Yeah, because you lost yours.
Uh... No, the circle is fine. And which one of you again is stepping into the ring?
Arnoductus, Miss Vara.
Oh.
She's just glaring at you.
A shame. Well, what was the name of the holiday? I'm sorry.
Pala Grande.
Hala Grande?
Mm-hmm.
Until Hala Grande Eve. Goodbye.
Praise Cain.
Ah, yes. Praise Cain.
Kane.
And we'll leave.
Okay. Just as you leave, a huge crack sounds. And Layla falls down.
What?
Somewhere in the city, Hassan makes a phone call on a burner, cracks it under his heel, throws a duffel bag in his car, and heads for the side and heads for Malibu.
And that's what we're in tonight.
All right.
So-
Okay.
So on that note,
Well then, okay.
thank you everybody for playing. Thank you for our wonderful audience, especially those of you who keep summoning elder gods. You keep empowering demons who are beneath Los Angeles, and now one of them actually has a cultist. I hope you're happy with yourself.
It's fine.
So, if we just want to do a quick round of goodbyes, and tell people what we're up to and when you can see our faces next on the internet.
Hey, I'm Eric at Martin Recluse on Twitter, and tonight I played Dimitri. You can find me here again tomorrow for Delta Green.
Hey everybody! My mind is blown. You can find me on the internet as Changeling Ever and on Etsy at Neat and Co Designs. I've enjoyed playing Billy for you. Stuff and things.
Hello, my name is Jared, and I played Drew today, and yeah, just
And yeah.
fooling everybody. That's what I'm doing.
Hi, I'm Savannah. You can find me online at Miss Emo Fox. The next time you can find me is tomorrow on my own stream playing some Tomb Raider, and then next would be Wednesday right here on Vorpal Tales for, I believe, now correct me if I'm wrong, the final episode right now of Deadlands.
That is correct, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's me, yes. Hi, hello everybody, I am Steve. You can find me on the internet at Voodoo Arcade. My pronouns are he, him. And yeah, find me on Wednesday running that last session of Deadlands. It's going to be pretty great. Something next level awesome happened last session. So tune in, check it out. A certain Manitou will make a deal.
I am Tyler, Elder Chuckles Online. I played Hassam tonight. Let's start a war. And the game has just begun. You can find me all over the place at Vorpal Tales, but you should definitely come watch me and assorted other people from this show, at least some of you, getting drunk playing Paranoia on Saturday.
Oh, Lord. That should be
Yeah, that'll be me.
On a computer.
All right. And as for me, I have been your humble storyteller. My name is Rachel. You can find me in Stolen Fires pretty much everywhere, including Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. I will be streaming tomorrow on my personal channel from my new computer. Yay! I'm going to be playing Return of the Obra Dinn. Should be a lot of fun. And then you can see me Wednesday playing more Dark Ages Vampire over on Plastic Age Place, and then starting the final season of The Last Fairy Tale over at Onyx Path. I'm also here Tuesdays and Fridays for Contagion and Black Void. So, once again, thank you all for playing, and thank you to our audience, subscribers, and patrons on Patreon. Your support is what inspires us to aim higher with our cosplay and deeper with our roleplay. We will be back here next week, showcasing even more goth punk horror and vampiric violence. If you don't want to wait that long, catch more thrilling Vorpal content over the week, as we play 1 and sometimes 2 games every day, including a lot of really cool games who either just debuted or will soon, including Star Trek, Black Void, Mutineer Zero, World of Darkness, Ghost Hunters, and Delta Green with Vorpal Tales After Dark starting in September. As always, check out our schedule on Twitter, Instagram, or vorpaltales.com. But for now, the sun rises and day sleep sets in. For those of us with the willpower to push through, it is voting time. Players, please vote for the roleplay that you enjoyed, that made you think, that made you feel, that made you ponder.
I gotta go with what made me laugh just a few minutes ago when Ambrose was just shutting down Theta Bara, like, oh yeah, you came to the cathedral to pray because you're gonna lose, and you lost all your marbles.
That was pretty good.
My vote for that one.
So good.
Thanks.
Billy talking smack over there.
It was fun. I let out my inner 5-year-old. It was great. Oh. I'm gonna. Fuck. Everyone was so amazing with the story tonight. I have to give it to Steve for a completely arbitrary reason. The fact that he's gaming right now in Florida without AC. I'm sorry,
Right.
everyone did so amazing. I can't pick, so I picked Steve because
Yeah, if anyone's
Steve was a soldier, though.
if anyone's curious why I'm just flushed and sweating and look horrible, it's because there's no AC in this room.
I mean,
The trooper.
Florida without AC, definitely. Shit, man, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Love you guys.
Me, I gotta give mine to Hassam. Just the amount of plotting that Hassam did was super unreal.
Pretty sure Rachel loves every second of it.
It's been fun.
I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, no. I gotta give my vote to Ambrose for the 5-year-old little quips at the end there, which had me freaking dying. especially the marbles ones, as you could tell because I started laughing and had to mute myself. But
So I was in a massive debate in my head between Drew and Dimitri for tonight, who did a ton of heavy lifting, plotting, and roleplay wise. And then Ambrose used my ridiculous marble comment to make the most ridiculous pone ever, and let's reward terrible behavior.
Agreed.
Yeah, Ambrose for the marbles.
yep, Ambrose for the marbles.
Clean house today, there,
I
Ambrose.
almost okay. So I complete. Hold on, this won't take more. Okay, so I'm not in my apartment anymore. I'm somewhere else, and this is a storage closet where I found my old collection of Pogs from when I was a kid. So I almost said Pogs instead of marbles, and I was like, no, that's too random. We'll go with marbles. And I'm glad I did, because I don't think Pogs would have worked as well ultimately. So that was my 3-second brainstorm as I was talking. That happens with me. Okay, anyway, Pogs.
Give mine to Steve because my master plan uses your sire and you are inadvertently caught up in it now. Sorry, not sorry.
Yay.
I mean,
You got Billy
it's
stuck in
gonna
it too.
help Nora's secret messages because now Layla's got a shit ton of egg on her.
Yes, I am indirectly assisting your ascent to power, Nora.
Yay.
What true friends do.
All right. Thank you for everyone who watched. Thank you for everyone who voted. And we will see you all next week. Bye bye.